Okay, in this video we're going to discuss the basic algorithm that finds the maximum of numbers. The first thing we do is to decide on a very small number, typically a number that we think would be smaller than all the other numbers that the user would give. So in this case I choose minus 9999. So I start off with max variable that remembers the maximum as we go ahead, and we initialized it to minus 9999. Obviously the for loop simply needs to read in 10 numbers, so the for loop starts from 1 and goes up to 10. Inside the for loop, for 10 times you ask a number from the user, and then once the computer's read in the number, that number is compared to the current value of maximum. And if that number is now bigger than the maximum we've received up to now, then obviously maximum needs to change. So for example, if we've read in the fourth number and up to now the biggest number was 76, and now the user enters a 90, then max becomes 90, and we remember 90 as being the current maximum. Okay, so let's trace when the user enters these 10 numbers. Notice we initialize max to minus 9999. Then the user enters 40 the first time. Now immediately we can see 40 is greater than the minus 999, so max changes to 40. The next time that max changes is when the user enters 55, which is now greater than the current max, 40, and then max becomes 55. And then nothing changes until the user enters a 60, which is then remembered as the current max. And then the last time max changes is when the user enters 62, which then changes max to 62, and that finally is our final max. Then basically after the for loop you just print the maximum that has been remembered, and that would be then the biggest number that's been read in of the 10. But we need to think about this initializing of the max variable. Let's say we initialize max to minus 9999, and our assumption is incorrect, and the user then enters 10 numbers that are all smaller than 9999, the negative one. In that case, whenever you get to the if statement, the number we enter will never be bigger than that initial value for max. So after 10 numbers, we would not really have the maximum number. We would have finally say the maximum is minus 9999, which is obviously not correct. So initializing that max value is very important, and it asks us to assume what the numbers is that we will be receiving from the user. A better way of programming this kind of algorithm is to say, let's read in the first number of the 10 and immediately decide that is our current maximum. So we don't need to worry about a very small number. We just read in the first number, make that our maximum, and notice our for loop then starts from the second number, and it does the same as previously. It compares number to max, etc. But now we don't make any assumptions of which numbers we will be reading in.